The morning had been like any other for Michael Grant, the stoic CEO of Grant Technologies: meetings, deadlines, and an endless list of problems only money could fix. Yet no amount of wealth could fill the emptiness left by his late wife, Elena, who had died 3 years ago in a car accident. He walked through the company's marble lobby, lost in his thoughts, when a small, trembling voice broke through the silence. "Sir, you dropped this." Michael turned around to see a little girl, maybe 8 years old, holding out a delicate golden locket, one he instantly recognized. His heart stopped. It couldn't be. That locket had been buried with Elena. Where did you get this?" he whispered, his voice shaking. The girl hesitated, glancing nervously toward the cleaning staff in the corner, her mother, a janitor in the building, mopping the floor quietly. "Mom found it near the elevator last night," the girl said softly. "She said it looked special." Michael's chest tightened as he opened the locket. Inside was the faded picture of Elena smiling, and a tiny fingerprint smeared beside it. His eyes filled with tears. For the first time in years, the cold, powerful CEO couldn't speak. He just knelt before the janitor's daughter and said, "Thank you, you have no idea what this means." Michael couldn't concentrate for the rest of the day. The golden locket sat on his desk, glinting under the soft office lights, a ghost from the past that refused to fade. He'd personally placed it around Elena's neck before her casket was closed. There was no explanation for how it had found its way back. As evening approached, Michael decided to find answers. He walked down to the janitor's quarters, a place he'd never been. The smell of disinfectant hung in the air. There, the same woman he had seen earlier was cleaning the floor, her dark hair tied in a bun, her uniform worn but neat. "Excuse me," he said gently. "You're the one who found this?" He held up the locket. The woman looked startled. "Yes, sir. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I just thought it looked precious." Michael studied her face, and something about her voice struck him, a faint echo of warmth he hadn't felt since Elena. "Where exactly did you find it?" he asked. "Near the old service elevator," she replied. "It must have fallen from one of the boxes you moved last week." He frowned. "That elevator's been sealed for years." She hesitated. "I only went there because I heard someone crying. When I looked, there was no one. Just this locket." Michael's heart raced. The service elevator was where Elena had been rescued from the crash, before she passed away in his arms. He took a shaky breath. "What's your name?" "Lena, sir." "Lena Ortiz." Michael froze. Elena's name shortened. Lena. And for a brief second, standing in that dim hallway, he felt as though fate had whispered her name back to him. Michael couldn't shake the feeling that something greater was at play. That night, long after everyone had left, he sat in his office replaying every word Lena had said. Her calm, gentle tone. The way her eyes softened when she saw the locket. It all reminded him of Elena, not just her face, but her soul. The next morning, he called Lena to his office. She arrived nervously, wiping her hands on her apron. Her daughter, Sophie, peeked curiously from behind her legs. "Please sit," Michael said kindly. "I wanted to thank you again. But may I ask, where are you from?" Lena hesitated. "We've moved around a lot, sir. I worked at St. Anne's Hospital before this job. My husband passed away last year." Michael's breath caught. "St. Anne's? That's where my wife—" He stopped. Lena's eyes widened slightly. "Your wife? Elena Grant?" He nodded slowly. "I remember her," Lena whispered. "I was a nurse there, in the emergency wing. The night of her accident." Her voice faltered. "She held my hand and said something I never forgot." Michael leaned forward. "What did she say?" "She said, 'Tell him I'm not gone. He'll find me when he learns to see kindness again.'" Michael's world spun. He hadn't cried in years, but now tears slipped silently down his face. Lena reached into her pocket and placed the locket on the desk again. "Maybe she meant this was how you'd find her," she said softly. And for the first time in a long while, Michael didn't feel alone. He felt guided. The janitor's daughter tugged his sleeve gently. "Mom says angels talk in strange ways," she whispered. Michael smiled weakly. "Maybe they do, Sophie. Maybe they do." Over the next few weeks, Michael found himself noticing Lena and Sophie more often. They'd arrive early, before the building stirred to life. Sophie would hum softly as her mother worked, turning the dull hallways into something almost peaceful. One morning, as Michael passed by, he saw Sophie sitting on the floor, coloring on a scrap of cardboard. Her picture showed a smiling woman with angel wings holding hands with a man in a suit. Beneath it, she had written in clumsy letters, "My mommy says kind people never really go away." Michael knelt beside her, his throat tightening. "That's beautiful, Sophie. Is that your mom?" Sophie shook her head. "No, it's someone my mom told me about. The lady from the hospital. She said that lady helped her believe in hope again." Michael looked toward Lena, who stood quietly nearby, her eyes filled with both embarrassment and warmth. "You helped her that night," he said softly. "And now somehow she's helping us." Lena smiled faintly. "Maybe your wife's kindness never left, sir. Maybe it just found new hands." Later that day, Michael made a quiet decision. He spoke with HR and arranged for Lena to receive a promotion, head of maintenance staff, with full medical benefits for Sophie. When she found out, she cried openly in the hallway. "I can't accept this, sir. It's too much," she said through tears. "It's not charity," Michael replied gently. "It's gratitude. For reminding me what kindness looks like." As he walked away, he realized something powerful. In helping Lena, he was finally healing the wound that had haunted him for years. And maybe, just maybe, that was exactly what Elena had meant. A few days later, Lena approached Michael's office with something clasped in her hands, the golden locket. It gleamed in the sunlight streaming through the window, as if alive with memory. "I think you should have this back, sir," she said softly. Michael smiled gently. "It's yours too now. You helped me find it." She hesitated, then opened the locket and frowned. "Wait. I never noticed this before." Inside, behind Elena's photo, a tiny folded note was tucked in a hidden compartment. Michael's heart began to race. Together, they unfolded it carefully, the ink faded but still readable. It said, "If love ever feels lost, look for the light it leaves behind. You'll find me there, in kindness, in laughter, in the people who remind you to care." Michael's hands trembled. Elena's handwriting. Her words, a bridge between worlds. He looked up at Lena and Sophie standing together, and for the first time since losing his wife, he didn't feel grief. He felt peace. Sophie looked up with her bright eyes. "See, Mom? Angels do talk funny," she giggled. Michael laughed through his tears. "Yes, they do," he said, kneeling to her level. "And sometimes, they sound just like little girls." That evening, he walked out of the building with Lena and Sophie, the city glowing gold around them. The locket rested against his heart, no longer a symbol of loss, but of connection. As they stepped into the crisp night air, Michael whispered to the sky, "Thank you, Elena. I finally understand." Somewhere deep inside, he could almost hear her voice again, soft, warm, and smiling. "You found me, in kindness."